What do you do if you're in business and you can't find anybody to work at your business? The answer to that in a second. Before that, though, you know what I'm going to say. Please ask your friends to subscribe and PayPal, or you can send a check. I got a check from a gentleman today in BC. He said, I don't do PayPal, but he says, I saw the address. And that's great too. It's all money. It keeps us on the air. And the answer to that, I'm going to ask Catherine Swift, because she knows a lot about government and business. She's the head of the association, which is at the bottom of the screen right now. It's too much for me to line out right now. Anyway, I put the question to you. I've heard that from a number of people recently. You can't get people to work.
Yep. Yeah,
is that
there's
a problem?
A big problem. It's been a problem for quite some time, and there's a whole pile of different reasons for it. And now it's probably worse than ever. For one thing, we baby boomers, I'm a boomer, are exiting the workforce. So suddenly we've got this huge, big
You're not
chunk.
You're not retired. I'm not retired.
No, I know, but a lot of people are retiring.
Yes, I get
that. But you're right, we aren't. We're weirdos that way. But that's one of the issues. We've also got people coming into the country. Trudeau has abandoned the old immigration system, which used to work quite well, which was based not exclusively, but a lot on economic criteria. Who do we need in this country?
We need nurses, bring them in. We need doctors, bring them in.
Now we've got a hodgepodge of people without skill sets, not all, but certainly an awful lot coming in. We had all those people flowing over Roxham Road, for example, for a while there. We've got, they're called, I think they're called migrants now, but they used to be called illegal immigrants because they're not following the rules.
That whole system has been debased.
Oh yeah, no, it's falling
government.
apart.
Yeah.
So that also doesn't help because it's not fair to people coming into the country because they can't find work either, because whatever skill sets they have are not well suited to the types of jobs available. Don't forget too, Trudeau has grossly increased the size of government. I hear from small businesses all the time, they compete with government. And of course they're funding government.
And you can't compete with government.
Well, you can't.
With all the benefits?
Because they're taking your money, you have to pay it.
Yeah.
And they're competing with you, but you're subsidizing them to do so. That's a perverse little situation, isn't it?
So where are we going with this, Catherine?
Well, what we're going to have to, one thing we're doing is automating. One thing people are doing is automating, and that's a problem too for the future, in the sense that a lot of jobs will not be there at all anymore in the future because we can automate them now. Mind you, it's not a bad thing for our economic productivity to automate.
But you need people to make the automated things.
Well, oh no, definitely, yeah, but we import a lot of that. We don't even make them here in Canada, so there's another problem we have. In fact, a lot of them are coming from places like China.
So are we going to be a nation of do-nothing ding-dongs?
Well, that's certainly a new word. That's interesting, new expression. But I think we saw it during the pandemic too. An awful lot of people actually quit their jobs so they could collect CERB, for example.
That's what I'm hearing about in retail. They say kids and young people are paid so well that they don't want to work. Why work?
There's that too.
I get free drugs and lots of money.
And our EI is generous. And there's a ton of different reasons for this, but it's bad news in general because the government's never going to pay you enough to have a decent life. You'll have a subsistence kind of situation, not a good, enjoyable, comfortable life.
On that note, the government's giving out cold hard cash. We all need it. Catherine Swift, thanks very much. 3 minutes. This show provides independent analysis of the issues. We are not paid by the government. And as I am finding, so much business in Canada relies upon various governments that they don't want to sponsor or advertise on a show which may become controversial, which talks about liberty, freedoms, sometimes criticizes government. I've had guests on that support the government. But people are saying, you know what? We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, i.e. government, which is why I hope you'll subscribe and contribute to keep this show on the air.